Let's fight, folks. Welcome in the ring to each and every one of you. Yolanda Thomas and we out here waiting. Well, we hope you're all good. We hope you're all well. Wherever you're joining us from tonight, welcome in the ring. Let's fight. We got a guest dropping by, folks. We're going to be joined by the one and only Rickford Burke out of New York. Folks, stay tuned for that. You're going to want to share the live tonight. You're going to want to smash the emoji button. It's Friday night, and we're closing off the week with a bang. We trust that you're good, Ronald McDonald, Audrey Cole. Wherever you're joining us from, we say welcome to each and every one of you good folks. Each and every one of you, wherever you're rocking and coming from tonight. Claire Alexis family. Good to have you, Claire and Paul Bourne. Good to have you, Paul, Audrey Cole, and Shondell Griffith, Dolly Anderson. Good to have you, folks. Yonette Irwin, Gloria Gordon. Good to have you there. Marilyn Seaford. Good to have you, Donette. Mavis Davis, well. Etesha, Utiline, good to have you. Isabella Butters, Isabella Butters. Rohan Basantram, good to see you. Rohan. Wherever you joining us from, folks, rock and coming tonight. We got the fight card set. There's only you folks missing. We got the fight card set, good folks. We are ready to go. We're fired up and we're ready to go, folks. So pace and power. We hope that you folks are good. We hope that you folks are well wherever you're joining us from tonight. We are happy and we are delighted that you folks are here with us. As we said, we got the fight card set. There's only some of you missing. Good folks. There's only some of you missing. Where y'all there, man? Where y'all? Supplying the man. Supplying. Some of y'all always late, you know. Shucks. Always late. Change your ways, the man. Operate like a big person. Please and thank you. Wherever you're joining us from tonight, pace and power. Rock and coming, good folks. Rock and coming. Wherever you're joining us from, we are privileged. We are delighted to have all you. We are privileged and delighted to have all you here with us. How are you all doing, good folks? We trust that you guys had a good day. We trust that you guys have had a fantastic day. Good to have you, Wanda, Fraser, JT Cole. I see Carol is here too. Andrew Griffith says respect and manners. Respect and manners to you too, Andrew. Thanks for the things, Andrew. Thanks for the thing. Irwin Don Cook and Joan Robertson. Good to see you folks. Wilmer Grant and Carl Hudson. Yonette Benjamin. Good to see you too, Yonette. Shauna Fortune. Melanie Adams. Great to have each and every one of you folks. Wherever you're joining us from tonight. Yvette Juna. Roxanne. Is it Batson? Good to have you, Roxanne. Stephanie Pearson is here too as well. And Stacy Lewis. Folks, we are fired up. Listen, and we are ready to go, and we hope that you guys are as well. Pace and power. Good to have you, Claudette Clark. Good to have you, Enid Miggins. Who else do we have with us tonight, folks? We got, I see Guy Matherson is here. Good to see Kim Walker. All the other folks. We got the fight card set. Good, folks. We got the fight card set. There's only some of you missing, you know. It's only some of you missing. Wherever you're joining us from tonight, look some of the things we're covering. Boom. Shakalak. Every day in this country is protest for all manner of things. Protest. We can talk about the protest they had recently, folks. Yep. We can talk some about that. Some things are happening in Brazil next door. We can talk about that. And then we can talk about some of Ifraan stories. Ifraan telling story. We can talk about that. Some activities on the ground, on the sidelines of the CARICOM. Has a government meeting they recently had in Trinidad. This market story. This thing is a charity market. Y'all know fire is big money in this country. Fire is big business, big business in this country. We can talk about that, Roderick Henry. And then, folks, some stuff going down at Food for the Poor tomorrow. You know, if y'all see me in the line there, y'all don't judge me. If y'all see me in the line at Food for the Poor, don't judge the eye. You see me in the line there, don't judge me. Don't do it, folks. The closer, it's the quick. It's the opener, folks. How did we get there? Boom. Hope you are paying attention. Hope you folks paying attention. We can't get to the close yet. No, folks. The opener. Y'all know the tribe with Linden. Y'all know the tribe with Linden, good folks. What the tribe with Linden? Y'all don't come wrong Linden funny at all. Now, folks, both sides had an event this morning. You know, the chairman of Region 10 was invited to give remarks. Both sides invited him to give remarks. Next thing you know, it's like he disinvited. Why? Them boys. Them boys, good folks, them boys. And so for the opener tonight, Darren Adams, the chairman of Region 10, tells us what went down at both sides today. Take a look and take a listen.
I know many of you would have witnessed a few minutes ago our page streaming live the commissioning of kiln number 15 and the launching of the mass project there at Bosai Minerals Group. And of course, many of you would have, I know you're asking why it is that the live ended and why it is that we, of course, would have left after, of course, listening and welcoming the investment that is going to be made by Bosai and the People's Republic of China. The ambassador was there. And I want to, from the onset, let the public know that we welcome the investment and modernization of the bauxite company here in Linden. I want to first say that I would have received an invitation, and I will read it to you shortly, from Bosai Minerals Group Guyana. This invitation came to my desk on July 1st, 2023. I will read it shortly. And it said, it's addressed to Mr. Darren Adams, Regional Chairman, Regional Democratic Council, Region 10. Dear Mr. Adams, referencing commissioning of kiln number 15 and launching of MAZ project. Bosai Minerals Group, Guyana, Inc. is proud to announce the completion of kiln number 15, a significant milestone in our continuous pursuit of excellence in bauxite production. It is with great pleasure that the management and staff of Bosai Minerals Group, Guyana Inc., extend to you a formal invitation to attend the commissioning ceremony of kiln number 15 and the launching of MAZ project. The event is scheduled for Friday, July 7, 2023 at 9:30 hours in the bauxite plant. Kiln number 15 site, which is located in Mackenzie, Linden, Guyana. Kindly be informed that it will be necessary for you to provide remarks. I would like to repeat that. Kindly be informed that it will be necessary for you to provide remarks. Thank you for considering our invitation. We eagerly anticipate your response and sincerely hope to have the honor of welcoming you at Bosai Minerals Group, Guyana Inc., commissioning ceremony and the launching of the MAZ project. It is important to know that last evening, I would have received a call from the management of Bosai or a representative of Bosai confirming my participation, confirming that I will be speaking, and confirming that my remarks will be delivered at 9:15. That is what was said to me. And so we were asked to be present there at least by 9 o'clock to facilitate the arrival of the president and several other officials. I have a statement, as I said, I will read it briefly, but today I say it's a sad day for our country, for our region. I would have appeared on a program some weeks ago or months where I spoke at a Coffee 250 function where the topic was the creeping apartheid state in Guyana. And I can say to you that, as was the case then, when I presented those remarks, we were right then, as we are correct in what we are experiencing now. And so today, what is of concern to me is that I also witnessed on exiting Bosai compound a journalist being prevented from entering the Bosai Minerals compound. For the record, and I hope that it does not get the journalist in any problem or even any family member or friends connected to that official. But I later returned with other regional leaders and had to sneak that journalist back into the compound of Bosai Minerals Group because directives came. It is alleged that only NCN media house would have been allowed coverage and access into that facility. And so once I got in, I was also informed that the program was amended, that we were no longer going to be given brief remarks. So apparently there was a quick deviation from it being necessary for an elected official to deliver remarks to whatever happened between the wee hours of the morning. All of the elected officials of the council, both at the RDC and at the municipal level, were removed, muzzled, which is reminiscent of what occurred during a few weeks ago during the campaign when we taped our mouths because we were denied access to NCN. This has now extended, in my humble view, and based on what we experienced this morning, it has now been extended to private companies being dictated to. Clear case of dominance.
Folks, that was Comrade Darren Adams, chairman of Region 10. And I wonder, when Ali them see the program, is Ali set up his car like both sides and say, get Darren up the speakers list, get him up the program or I'm not coming? Is he for himself? Or is Jack Dio? Or is one of the other lackeys? Who is getting dirty work? Is Daramlal? Is who? Who is getting dirty work? Folks, that was the opener. That was the opener. We got to guess. Folks, coming up, you're going to want to share the live. You know who's dropping by? You know who's dropping by, folks? You know who's dropping by? I want to know if you all know. Huh? You know who's dropping by, folks? Come the man. Help out the man. Who's dropping by? Who's dropping by coming up? Who no, man? I never know. Who no? Share the live. Smash that emoji button for us, good folks. Who no? Who no? We got a guest coming up. A guest coming up. Not much. We got a guest. I tell you, we ending the week on a high note. We ending the week on a very, very high note tonight. Who vex? Share the live, folks. About to show you some of what we are covering. Some of what we're covering internationally. Some of what we're covering regionally. And then, folks, we're circling back home very, very quick. Some of y'all know this thing more than we, man. Y'all getting this thing live and direct. Valid, credible information. Valid, credible information. Y'all are getting good, folks. I love it. I love it. I love it when people get valid, credible information. And the right place, too. And the right place. Look some of what we're covering, folks. Internationally. Look some of what we're covering. Take a look at this, folks. They're telling us that Jay-Z's mom got married over the last weekend. Got married. Don't let them tell you a wrong story. She got married. That's what we know. Quite recently, she got married. Yep. The rapper, the billionaire rapper, Beyonce's husband, Jay-Z, Beyonce's mother-in-law, got married to her long time, they tell us, Trinidadian girlfriend. She got married to her long-time Trinidadian girlfriend, and Jay-Z's mother is Gloria Carter. Jay-Z's mother is Gloria Carter. How many shows you can watch and listen to and hear? Jay-Z's mother, Gloria Carter, married her longtime girlfriend, Trinidadian Roxanne Wiltshire. Now, listen to him a little close. Roxanne Wiltshire. Roxanne Wiltshire. The couple's wedding took place last Sunday. I did get it right. Last weekend. Last Sunday at Tribeca 360 degrees in Manhattan, New York. Tribeca 360 degrees in Manhattan, New York. We want to say congrats to Jay-Z's mom. Congrats. You almost wasn't here. Congrats to Jay-Z's mom and her longtime girlfriend. Right? Her longtime girlfriend, Trinidadian Roxanne Wilshire. Of course, Jay-Z's mom being Gloria Carter. Yep. Things we following in the region, folks. Things we following in the region. Be happy that you all are here with us. A couple things, Barbara and Romel and Laverne, Stacey Lewis, Shannon and the other folks. Some things in the region we're following. We're happy for people that are happy. We're going to be happy with those that are happy, folks. Things we're following regionally. Historic tax reform. Apparently, Brazil had a mix-up consumption tax regime. Consumption tax regime. And they have recently passed in the lower house of their Congress this tax reform bill to simplify that. And they're calling it, at least Lula Inácio da Silva, the president there in Brazil, is calling it a historic moment for the country as they pass this historic tax reform bill overhauling their consumption tax law regime. That's what they're doing there in Brazil. But they're not trying to overthrow Lula, that is. Folks, moving on very quickly. The 592, so what we're following. In the 592, you all know what we say. Thanks for the thing, Maxine. Et al. Maxine and the others. Thanks for the thing. Thanks for the thing. Maxine, you know yourself. And the chocolate too. Maxine, thanks for the thing. Thanks for the thing. Y'all tell Maxine thanks, man. Maxine, thanks for the thing. Right? And Apostle too. Apostle, you know yourself there, man. Shucks. In Brooklyn. By the church. You know yourself, Apostle. Thanks for the thing. Thanks for the thing. Oh, somebody text right from me now. I like myself tonight. Nice time. Nice time. I tell you all, if you all see me in a line over the weekend, don't judge me. Only God can judge me in my Tupac voice. Only God in my Tupac Shakur voice. Only God can judge me. Right? Public distribution, quote unquote. Food for the Poor would like you to know tomorrow there'll be a public distribution. Nice time. If you all see me in a line, don't come around me funny. Don't do it. Right? They say they're hosting a public distribution tomorrow, Saturday the 8th of July at their Festival City Complex, Blue Mountain Road, North Rhymeveld. Don't ask me for the time because I didn't state. But what I can tell you is you should go down there as early as you can. Right? If you spot me in a line there, don't judge me. Don't judge me. You understand me? I try not to go to natural, so I can go in a line by Food for the Poor. Nice time by Food for the Poor tomorrow. You see me in a line, they don't judge me, that's what I'm saying. Don't do it. Don't do it. Volda Daniels, Troy Campbell, Mark Ferreira, Augustus, Andrews, y'all see me by things tight in this country, you're telling me. Nice time tomorrow at Food for the Poor. I didn't see a time. Oh, I will go along here early. 6 o'clock in the morning, I don't line up like I vote in. 6 is late too. For church I left in home, I got in line. Don't even touch me. I like what I like what Allison said. Don't touch me. You understand me? You know, some of y'all, it's a real thing. Y'all see people in some positions. It's you, Sharon. My own damn business there. Shucks. Can't get around this place in peace. It's you, Sharon. It's you. You get fat. I touch you the shirt. Oh, like me to practice and beat out the man. Shucks. So don't touch me. Don't touch me. You see me in a line by Food for the Poor tomorrow. Public distribution, folks. Public distribution. Don't come around with funny. You know what's sad? You know what's sad? Oh, Father. How people die in this country all the time. How people die in this country all the time. They found a pensioner who went missing, lived by himself. His son said he visited him every weekend. They threw into the right place, folks. They threw into the right place. We know the whole thing. We know the whole thing. Lived by himself. Son went to visit him. He went. Son didn't find him. You see, he found his uniform thrown in the backyard. and shoes. He found the front door locked tight. He said he find it a little strange. He found it a little strange. It's sad how people have to live and die in this country. And we're talking about Calamidin Richard Ibrahim, known as Broncos Man, 73 years old. You know, Port Morant. He was found on the foreshore in Berbice on Monday in a advanced, they said, I may quote them, advanced state of decomposition. It's so sad how we live and die in this country. It's so sad. Our thoughts and prayers go out to Mr. Ibrahim's family. Our thoughts and prayers. Son said he lived alone, 73 years old. He loved to be independent. They found his body in an advanced state of decomposition. The son said, little foul play here. Right? Advanced state of decomposition. Something smells foul about this whole issue here. So it's not like his father just pitched the work clothes anyhow and so on. We following that, folks? We come down by them boys now. It's some of your section. The Jagabats, the Trench Crappos, Tadpoles and Cricketers, folks, coming up. Coming up. The one and only. Tell you, man, coming up. Rickford Burke is showing us in just a few. Oh, yes. You all know this one here. Come the right place, folks. We know the whole thing. We know the whole thing, the whole story. We know the whole thing. You know, people going peacefully. Kitty Carter, they want to bring legislation now to manage the e-bikes. Then people vex with them, man. Protest. That's what we were telling you about earlier on. The folks say, oh. And then the regime they've implemented, the folks said that it's too onerous. You see, when we in the National Assembly, we talk these things, some of them don't want to listen, you know. They don't want to listen. The process doesn't have to be onerous. So that people can circumvent it and pay a bribe. It doesn't have to be onerous. Carl Miller, Claudette Phoenix, David Wood, Stacey Ann, Pam Hall, Alchie Lane, Mortimer, Timothy Reynolds, Sandra Brunson. It ain't got to be onerous and burdensome. It doesn't have to be. The folks at Jack is a cross. He says for the safety. Huh? He says for the safety. What you ever do for people's safety? Tell to the 20th at Madia. Right? Tell it to this young woman, the 16-year-old, allegedly raped and sodomized by your friend. The man who got the black book for you. Tell that to them. Right? The e-bike people say the wicked, stink and dirty. That's what the people say. Wicked, stink and dirty. Folks, coming up, the one and only Rickford Burke. Coming up, crime going up. Crime spiraling in this country. But look, story here. You see this government? I was telling our morning audience, they got some things that characterize the PPP. Cocaine, you see? Cocaine, high crime, high cost of living, corruption. Businessman almost met his end. We saw some report that says he's in a stable condition. One report killed him off. One report said the man done dead and gone. Right? And I'm saying it's daily news. Right? But the report says here that he's in a stable condition following this attempted execution-style shooting. They shot over 40 rounds at him. Over 40 rounds. He was hit 3 times. 3 times. 40 rounds fired at him. He was hit 3 times. They said, Shafraz Ibrahim, it looked like he was followed all the way from the East Bank, his place of employment. You know, is who he vexed, man? Is what Shafraz involved in? Shafraz Khan of Austin Street, Camberville, suspected to have been trailed by the perpetrators from his workplace in Eccles. Is what Shafraz involved in, some man? Who know the whole thing? We pray a speedy recovery for him, nonetheless. You know, we wish him bad for nobody. We pray a very, very speedy recovery for him. We wish him bad in the soul. We're coming down very quickly before we have our guest on. Wild West in Guyana, you know. We just pick up a couple of the dates for y'all where people have been gunned down since this administration come in. August 4th, Durban Street, Rondell Haynes. December 8th, 2020, Peter Gonzalez, Garnet Street. April 2021, Drysdale Street, Odengo. These are people who've been just gunned down, you know. This is part of what characterizes this installed regime. Every time they come to power, You know, this gunning down of people. It's the Wild Wild West. July 7th, 2020, Delron McKenzie. August 2nd, 2021, Jalil Liao. You know, October 2020, Sion London. March 2021, you know, Ricardo Fagundes. You all remember this? The infamous case in Palm Court. The execution style killing of Ricardo Fagundes, also known as Paper Shirts. May 28, 2021, Ronald Omar Smith in Camp Street. In Essequibo, you got Devane McClellan. This is just gunning down. This is not just murders. These are people who were gunned down in the street. Right on Regent Street, 2021 August. Euclid de Silva, you know, and then you had September 2021, Daniel Fraser. It's just a couple people out, you know. Somebody tag blinking him, man. It's just a couple people out. This is not an exhaustive list. And if we show you the cocaine, how much cocaine shipped, you know, and when you see how much they hold, you know it's decoy. You don't want to see how much pass. Those are things that characterize this administration, like the fires on the PPP that also characterize the administration. This installed regime, the fire service would have us to believe that it was started by an electrical meter. The Charity Market fire likely originated from an electrical meter. You all know fine, this country is big business. One contractor can get a little 800 million. He can give back 200 million to the people, to his benefactors, and so on. Folks, we can talk about this another night. I really want to have my guests on. Fires in this country is big business. We're 26 minutes into our program time. I want to have him on at the half-hour mark. He thought I meant 8:30. He didn't know it was the half-hour mark for the program. But we're going to have our guest on very shortly. Fires in the people in this country is big business. That's why you know. We almost set up point we're going to have our guest on. Big business. Fires in this country. Wrapping up local government election, we hope. We hope the information trickling in from GCOM. The figures trickling in. But today we learned that the folks at New Amsterdam elected a new mayor, Wainwright McIntosh, and the new mayor of New Amsterdam, and they also elected Kurt Fraser as the deputy mayor. Oh my God. Share the damn life, man. Smash the emoji button, man. Let other folks get credible, valid information. Some of y'all wicked, stinking dirty like the trenches, you know. Share the damn live. Or use a PPP too. Some people want to share the live, you know. It's only them. So congrats to Wainwright and congrats to Kurt Fraser. Congrats to the guys there making us proud. I'm saying, y'all work hard, please. I'm begging y'all. Work hard, please. And I want to say special thanks and thanks for the service of the outgoing mayor there. The former mayor now. Former mayor there. Congrats to her. She did excellent. Y'all please work hard. Catfish. Well, look, story. Oh, father. Rickford come the right time. Rickford know the whole thing, whole lot. Rickford know the whole thing, catfish. But look, story now. Y'all might run out. Ifraan ran out this morning, he swim out. You know the tadpoles swim out. He swim out. This jackabat, this trench crapo, this tadpole, this cricketer, Hittite Philistines, Pharisee, this one here, this hypocrite. Ifraan ran out today to say he confront Hakeem Jeffries. He confront Hakeem Jeffries. You could believe that. Hold on, this thing our people. How he confront Hakeem Jeffries. He confront Hakeem Jeffries in Trinidad. And he educated him. Oh, the people at Ifraan University still looking for he first degree. He dropped out Eugene second year. And he educated Hakeem Jeffries, the puppet president. Hakeem Jeffries earned his stripe in this political arena, earned his stripe, earned his belt. Nobody can buy heavyweight belt and give Hakeem Jeffries. Don't come wrong with funny. He want to tell us how he schooled Hakeem Jeffries on Guyana, and he's not to listen to some of what he heard about Guyana. This trench crapo, folks, I would laugh louder. Only if my voice wasn't going. This trench crapo, but look story here now. He schooled Hakeem Jeffries, or he went to school. Yeah, no, everyone is wake up dreaming, but burial ground and all kind of thing. Like he wake up with a dream this morning. Like he wake up with a dream this morning. But look, story, school Hakim Jeffrey, or he went to school. Photo the day. Teacher in front of the class, you better take notes. You bitch, you better take notes. Oh, I tell you how we ended tonight with a bang. He school Hakim Jeffrey. He educate Hakim Jeffries. He in class taking notes. Who he could educate, who he could school. Don't come wrong with funny. You better share the damn life tonight. And you better share the damn life tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, give me a quick second. I want this thing about people. You're easy in this place. This thing about people. Give me a quick sec, folks. We're gonna have our guest on. We need to shift gears. We need to shift gears for a quick second. Yeah, I know these people ain't easy. Yeah, I know them boys ain't easy. He had to do what? Who they could school? You better don't come wrong. We funny. You better don't come. We ain't got no closer now. Y'all stop that. We ain't got no closer. Oh, Father. Folks, we're shifting gears very quickly. Give me a quick sec, and we're going to have our guest with. Oh, Father, you better take notes. You better take notes for the teaching class. Folks, I want to tell you that Sarah Lynch had a meeting with Mr. Jagdio at the embassy with another U.S. official. There were others who were there, but there was Jagdio, there was Sarah Lynch, and there was the American official. There were others who were there as well. First, give me a quick sec. I need to shift gears a bit, and we can be with you. Don't go away. Share it down live. I'll come in with y'all. Hold on, folks. Hold on. I need to shift gears very quickly. Give me a quick sec, folks. Give me a quick sec. Oh. Let me shift gears quick. This thing about people. Come on, program. The program a little slow tonight. All right, I think we got it now. Need to shift gears very quickly and come again. The thing I want to work with me though. The program I want to work with me. All right, it kicked in now. Folks, I'm shifting gears very, very quickly again. Shifting gears very quickly, come again. And I think I have my guest with me. Oh, let's take one more people. One more people. All right, Rickford, good night and welcome. Straighten up yourself nicely for us.
Oh, good night, sir. I'm at the same level with you, notice. I'm at the same level.
Your friend run out, and he says that he school and educate your other friend, Hakim Jeffries, on Guyana, and that what he heard from you was lies. He still wants to meet him. Now, I find this very strange, right? I find this if this did happen, I find it very undiplomatic, because the report, I think, out of them wave says that other heads of state from the Caribbean was there. When he said when he said Jeffries, what you hear from Rickford was a lie. I find that as very, very, very undiplomatic if that transpired. Rickford, take the show now.
Well, good night. Thank you for having me.
Rickford, I want to hear you. I'm not hearing you. Let me see.
You're not hearing me?
I'm hearing you now. Go right ahead.
Good night. Thank you for having me. I think you just had a good laugh, and you're right to have a laugh. Demerara wave is hallucinating. It's a dream. First of all, I think the Demerara wave article is trying to be mischievous, trying to project Irfin Ali as some sort of leader that could confront a United States congressional leader. That never happened. And I don't believe that's what Irfin Ali said either. I listened to his comments on the video. That's not what he said. But I'll tell you what happened. A cluster of heads, including the Barbadian Prime Minister, the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, the Prime Minister of St. Vincent, were actually huddled together talking. And a member of the congressional delegation introduced the congressman to those heads, including Irfin Ali. And it was a less than 60-second conversation. All they did was exchange pleasantries. And then Irfin Ali told the congressman he would like to have a meeting with him in New York or Washington, along with Congress member Yvette Clarke, who's also from Brooklyn. And the congressman said, okay, and the conversation ended. That's all that happened.
Very interesting. So he's carrying tails out to school. That's how we would say it here. This is tails out to school.
Well, Orphanali said in response to a question from Demerara Wave, he said, we have always sought to educate. I'll come back to that educate thing just now. To educate the congressman on Guyana, because the narrative that he heard has been false. I don't know how. You see, these East Indians in the PPP like to project themselves as being dominant and superior to Black people. And so he wants to bring that kind of superiority, misplaced superiority, to the congressman. But Orphanali is not in the league, not intellectually, not politically, not socially, of Hakeem Jeffries. And I'll tell the Guyanese people something about Hakeem Jeffries just now. But the fact that he wants to use this word, educate the congressman, is condescending. And he's actually hinting that the congressman gets misinformation from Guyanese in the diaspora. Listen, the congressman has dozens of staff. They do their research. They get information from the State Department. The congressman meets thousands of Guyanese. He has hundreds of Guyanese organizations in New York City that communicate with him. The congressman doesn't have to get information from me. But it is this condescension that, and I want to be very specific, the East Indians in the PPP who think that they're superior to Black people want to bring this kind of superiority, misplaced superiority, to the congressman. They're not in the league of the congressman. And let me say to the Guyanese people who Congressman Hakeem Jeffries is. Congressman Hakeem Jeffries went to Midwood High School. He then went on to Binghamton University, upstate New York, where he got graduated at the top of his class with a degree in political science. He then went to Georgetown University, where he got a master's degree in public policy. And then he went to NYU Law School, where he graduated at the top of his class. He was a Wall Street attorney. Then he became a member of the New York State Assembly. Then he ran for Congress. He's in his 11th term in Congress. I don't know how Orphanali thinks that he can educate one of the most brilliant minds in America, one of the most brilliant politicians, and if possible, one of the most brilliant Black minds in America. He's out of his league. And for him to try to compare himself with Hakeem Jeffries is idiotic.
Well, Rickford, I would only say this, two quick things. You know, I believe you got some good East Indian brothers and sisters in the PPP. All of them don't have that ears about them. You know, they're not all of the Irfan Ali and the Jack Joe. We got some good East Indian brothers and sisters.
Probably
in
so.
the PPP.
But the ones who are projecting themselves as superior to Black people, those are the ones I'm talking about. Those who want to build an ethnocracy, where they want to project themselves as this kind of, their ethnicity is superior. I'm talking to those, and I make no apologies for it. They're racist. They want to build a one-party state. They want to build an ethnocracy, and we're not going to accept it. And when you want to come to the United States and export the racism and attack a member of Congress because he has just spoken out on behalf of his constituents, it's unacceptable. And when you go for Hakeem Jeffries, you go for the whole of Brooklyn, and we come after you.
Very well, very well. You know what strikes me there? You know, I'm not the czar by any means on international relations, but if you want to build a relationship with Hakeem Jeffries, you talked about the choice of word. This word, I educated him, you know, and you said that reeks of condescension. A Black man understands in the streets. What do you mean when you say I had to educate him? We understand what you mean by that.
It's particularly offensive when it's coming from a dunce like Orphanali.
Our presidents. Now, if you want to build a genuine relationship, number one, again, why would you seek to engage him in the company of other heads of state and heads of states in CARICOM who might not have been privy to the backstory? That's number one. Unless you would have to brief them prior.
It never happened. Right? There was no conversation about Guyana.
It seems so bizarre to me. Why would you use that word if you want to build a genuine relationship with himself and Yvette Clarke? Why would you go after it in that way?
because that's how they feel. Are you hearing me, Sharon?
Yes.
Listen. I've studied from a teenager. I've studied the PPP. I've studied Bar Jagdeo. I've studied all of them, and it is this air of supremacy, right? And now they're getting advice from the Republicans. They're even more racist, right? This air of supremacy and superiority, like, oh, he insulted us by telling us about the racism in our government, so we will insult him. Insult Hakeem Jeffries?
He said he has the figures. He has
Ethnocracy.
the data.
The PPP ethnocracy is nowhere on the agenda of Hakeem Jeffries. He's busy helping to govern the most powerful country in the world. Irfan Ali is nowhere on his agenda. It's not important to him, except that the racist and apartheid policies in Guyana are affecting his constituents. Affecting
Hakeem
even
Jeffries flew into Trinidad on a 747. If Irfan just got a reconditioned cocaine plane, and he think he's on the level with Hakeem Jeffries to educate him. My God. My God.
And when you look at he doesn't have the intellectual heft to stand up to Hakeem Jeffries. And you know what? This is the thing. It's sad because I'm Guyanese and I want to see my country develop. I want to see my country held in high esteem in the world. But with this government, a mediocre government with a vice president and a president who think they know everything and who are condescending to Black people, except the ones that serve them well, like Greg Meeks. He's not going to be condescending to Greg Meeks because he's going to hug and embrace Greg Meeks because he wants acceptance. He wants acceptance, and they want acceptance from Hakeem Jeffries, and they think that communicating their propaganda to Hakeem Jeffries makes him gullible, and he's just going to accept that and run with it. Listen, Hakeem Jeffries knows every single thing. He gets the intelligence. He's one of the gang of 8 in the United States Congress. He's briefed on everything that happens around the world. And so he knows everything about Guyana. He knows everything about Jagdeo criminality, etc. He knows everything. He gets briefings from the United States government, all aspects of the government. So there's nothing you can tell or educate Hakeem Jeffries. Well, as a matter of fact, I think Irfan Ali can educate himself by learning from Hakeem Jeffries, his humility, his intelligence, and his vast scope of knowledge.
Yep. He looked like he was educating himself in this picture. The folks tell us that this was at the American Embassy. That is unconfirmed. The location here, folks says this is outside the ambassador's office at the American Embassy. We see Mr. Jagdeo. We see Sarah. Rickford, I don't understand. Sarah had a party 2 months ago that she's leaving. My God, this is the long goodbye. Oh, help you out now. Help you out. So there's Jagdeo, there's Sarah, and there's another fella here. And then there's some assistant taking notes there as well. I mean, this is the fellow who educates. He looked like he's doing a multiple choice test for NGSA. Rickford.
Well, my understanding is that the new ambassador hasn't been voted in by the United States Congress. Sorry, she hasn't got her approval from the United States Congress. As you know, the Constitution requires, with the appointment of certain government offices, the president has to get the advice and consent of the United States Senate. And so they had the hearing, the Foreign Relations Committee had a hearing with the ambassador, but she has not been voted out of the United States Senate as yet. As you know, the Democratic Party only has a 2-seat majority in the United States Senate, and 2 of those senators have been unwell. I think 1 has returned, and Senator Dianne Feinstein from California is still unwell. So they have to manage those votes. And I think the priority right now are judicial appointments. So I think the ambassador from Guyana is yet to be voted out of the United States Senate.
Is there anything that we can do to help?
Call Chuck Schumer. I had a conversation with him. He's my senator. He's the Senate Majority Leader, and he assured me that that vote will be taken. Like I said, I don't think that's probably a priority. Their priority are judicial appointments, and they have other legislative priorities. And but the good ambassador in Guyana has had her farewell, and I'm pretty sure she will fare well on her way out soon.
I hope so too. Mr. There was a man many years ago. I'm trying to remember Aristotle Onassis. I was trying to remember his name. He was married to President Kennedy's wife after the demise of President Kennedy.
Onassis.
Onassis, Aristotle Onassis. He said something that stuck with me years after I first heard it. He said, money don't buy class. Money don't buy class. It's by tolerance. And Onassis had a lot of money.
Yes.
He had a lot of money. That's why probably he was a tycoon. No, in that vein, you look at Irfan Ali. You know, he believed because we pump a little oil out there, he must suddenly get into certain groupings. And that's why he's trying to get in here with Jeffries and Yvette Clark, and so he wants to have them on speed dial like he's a big boy. You know, and I mean, Irfan is not even the man in his own meetings. You know, who is he fooling, Rickford?
I think it's a misplaced sense of entitlement. He's arrived. He's the president. He's the installed president of Guyana, and Guyana has oil now, and they think they have oil money. So he carries himself around with this air of entitlement. I'm entitled to have an audience with Hakeem Jeffries. Well, that's why he hasn't had one yet, because he's not.
Because he's trying to train that on a cocaine plane.
He basically ran into the congressman in Trinidad. The congressman had meetings with a few heads of government. Irfan Ali was not one. And that says a lot.
Interesting. So you're costed, you know, I find the thing so ludicrous. No, he couldn't even muster the courage to meet the congressman one-on-one, right? Ask him for a second and so on. In the company of others, that is so uncultured. That is so uncouth. It talks about his breeding. He gave the parents a bad name out here.
Well, I want to underline, Shara, that he did not confront the congressman. They had a pleasant exchange of greetings. And then he did say that he would like to have a meeting. And the congressman said, okay, I understand. And that was it. There was never any discussion.
So Rickford, you tell me, you calling Cheers Green president a liar? You calling Trisha Richards president a liar? And the Scampnet, they boss a liar.
I'm saying the reportage in Demerara Wave is a hallucination. It never took place. And I'm not sure who's the liar, but I know that he did not have any substantial discussion with the congressman on Guyana. It was a fleeting encounter. They exchanged pleasantries, and he did ask for a meeting, and the congressman said okay or words to that effect and left. It was a very brief meeting, no discussion. No discussion. And the congressman did meet with two other heads of government in the region, and I can confirm that Irfan Ali was not one of them.
Wow, that's interesting. That's interesting, Rickford. Coming out of this meeting, they're telling us that they met with some farmers recently, Irfan Ali, that is, I think, at the Artichong Conference Center, and they said it's a bizarre thing in and of itself, because he has a plan, well, it's a Jagdio plan really and truly, to give Jagdio prominence in the region, because you know they want that badly. They're trying to bring down the food import bill of CARICOM. That's what they said. That's what they're telling us. They want to bring down the food import bill. But he told the farmers that they're going to import chicken and import some other things to give to the farmers to help to cushion them because things are hard in this country. What do you make of that?
It does make sense. I mean, and they're touting that they are going to be enhancing Caribbean food security. Enhanced food security by producing. You know, when I was a child, Burnham used to talk about feed, clothe, and house the nation, and he had all these agriculture initiatives, and the PPP was laughing. Now that's where we are. We're right back to square one, where Forbes Burnham and the PNC government was touting the ability of food self-sufficiency. Food self-sufficiency.
Food, clothes, and house the nation.
That's why you created the MMA. That's why you had all these agricultural products. It was geared towards food self-sufficiency. And that's where we have to go now. Guyana has a vast amount of land. The people think they own it, so they want to control who has access to land. But if we are to create food self-sufficiency in Guyana, we have to open up agricultural lands. We have to help the people. We have to have an agricultural bank. We have to, like Guy Bank. We are going back to those days. Guy Bank was there to help people create industry, create agricultural products. I did work study at Guy Bank, and so I understand how the bank worked. The this PP government came in, they closed most of these things. Guy Bank probably closed, shuttered under President Desmond Hoyt, but components of the bank existed through different institutions. And we have to go back there. If we want to talk about feeding the Caribbean, we can't import stuff. What we have to do is import machinery, import the kind of things that would help boost the agriculture sector in Guyana. More seedlings, more whatever it is that the farmers want. Create proper drainage and irrigation, open up lands. Let people start planting more crops. So you have to have a very busy and expansive agriculture industry in the country.
Was a little shocking to me because he even mentioned fertilizer, and they were touting this $1 billion they spent on fertilizer a couple months ago, not a couple of days ago, to give to farmers. They bring in Mia black belly too. That didn't help. The black belly sheep, that is from Mia, that didn't help. Mia black belly didn't walk out there. They bring in some giant black chicken. I thought a year later this whole thing chiving, they pour millions of dollars, taxpayers' money into these projects. But people tell me how the ship them pull in and get thin, the backbone showing. Them chicken die out.
It shows about misplaced priorities. As far as I'm concerned, and I'm a layman, I'm no agriculture scientist, but my brother is. I have a brother who is. They should make use of his and he's from Belgium, his expertise. But one, I think if you want to produce more chicken, you have to create more hatcheries, you have to have more incubators, you have to have more chicken feed. Those are the kinds of things that would boost an industry. Importing chicken is an insult to the chicken farmers, livestock, people who rear livestock in the country. Like I said, Guyana has vast agricultural lands. You have to develop them. You have to plant more crops. You have to cultivate more farmers. Get more young people to establish farms. And as far as I'm concerned, they should give lands freely to Guyanese to start doing farms if you want to promote agriculture, and also allow people from the Caribbean to come and plant farms in Guyana. They won't want to do that because it will be Black people, right? And they want to curb the amount of Black people coming into Guyana so that they could potentially become citizens. But if you want people from Bangladesh and India and probably some from Suriname and those, with the Strait here, yes, and Venezuelans and so on, and Cubans, yes, come to Guyana. That's the PP's policy. But if you're Black, no, you can't come to Guyana. I see CARICOM is now moving towards free movement for everybody, not only for professionals. Let's see if Guyana is going to welcome those Black people from the Caribbean to move freely into Guyana, to work and to establish industry and to plant farms. Let's see if they will do that.
It's very, very, very interesting what is happening. Rickford, before I let you go, Blinken was here, the Secretary of State of the United States of America, your Secretary of State, Anthony Blinken. If he didn't know we had some trouble here, he must have noticed the placards. He must have heard the cries of the Guyanese people. Even if Sierra is sending them some batch reports, he must have seen and he must be making inquiries if he didn't know before. But as you said, if one can't educate nobody, the man got a big staff and certainly knows what's happening here on the ground. What do you think he might be making of this and Dharmlal and all of that? What are your thoughts before we let you go?
Well, I wasn't in Trinidad, but I heard in Trinidad, or was told that Dharmlal had to go. And that's why he rushed probably and made that announcement from his hotel room in Trinidad. Blinken knows what's going on. And I think that there's no way the U.S. ambassador and the Assistant Secretary of State for the Western Hemisphere, who I'm sure were briefed about the situation with Dharmlal, would have allowed Anthony Blinken to come to stand next to the head of government with that kind of scandal. And they got rid of the problem before. Well, it's not fully gotten rid of, but Dharmlal had to go. And I'm pretty sure the Americans told Orfanali that you're not going to stand next to the U.S. Secretary of State while you condone a child predator and a child rapist, an accused. An alleged child rapist and a child predator.
I'm shocked that you believe it's not Irfan's moral compass that guided him and his strong leadership and all that guided him in that direction to let Dharmlal tender his resignation.
Well, I'm sorry to shock you, but if I think
it's strong moral compass.
If our friend was being guided by a moral compass, Dharmlal would have been fired from the time this issue came about. My understanding from some people in the government is that there was some sort of controversy within the PPP about how to handle this matter when they shouldn't. If you have moral courage and a moral compass, this allegation came about. The government could have internally investigated it. They knew some of the allegations were true. They would have interviewed the police officer who was at his home. I'm pretty sure they went through some of the text messages with this girl. Even if she doesn't want to go forward, Sherrod, with criminal complaint, Damlal broke the law. He obstructed justice under the Sexual Offences Act of 2010. He should be charged with obstruction. He was clearly involved in obstruction. The police officer, the police commander in Region 2, was clearly involved in obstructing the investigation. The law is very clear. And I'm pretty sure that the government would have investigated other aspects of it, and they know it's true. And even if, let's say, you put aside those allegations, what is a big 49-year-old man doing texting and grooming a 15-year-old girl? I understand she was 15 when they met, and inviting her to his home and taking her to dinner at Movie Town is completely inappropriate.
Yeah,
And even the Sexual Offences Act of 2010 talks about someone who is a guardian of a child. And in his position, it could be a guardian. You cannot have these kinds of inappropriate relations. And under that aspect, I think it's section 19 of the law, he also violated it, and he should be charged. The DPP does not need, Sherrod, that criminal complaint from that young lady to charge Damlal with certain crimes. It has been established that he committed crimes. He obstructed the investigation. He tampered with the witness. He bribed the people with $10 million. That has been confirmed. They got the girl to say that the allegations were false. That's obstructing testimony, obstructing the investigation. He should be charged. I can't hear you, Sherrod. I'm not hearing you, Sherrod.
They're saying room was painted over, house was painted over, and all manner of things.
I saw the child's statement. Sherrod, she did say that. Not only did she say that the rooms were painted, she said furniture was removed. Also, she said that they told that when she went to visit the crime scene, they told her Damlal wouldn't be there. And when she walked into the house, he was there. Nobody objected. She had to object. It's disgraceful that they had to put her back through that trauma of seeing the person who she said allegedly raped her right there when they told her that he was not going to be there. She had to object. And then the child care protective agent from the Ministry of Human Services took her back to the car, and then Damlal left. And in addition to that, she said while she was there, one of Damlal's associate was recording her, was taping her on the phone, which is also inappropriate. And the police is talking about this investigation was conducted with utmost professionalism. Well, if that's professionalism, my God, I wouldn't want to see that police force be professional at all.
No, Branham, neither Shifburan, neither the DPP, Shalimar, none of them contradicted what this young lady said in none of these statements. But people said Shalimar had the power to institute the charges for less than what was written on those reports from this young woman. What do you make of her own action? She know the CCJ done like she ready.
Well,
right?
My understanding is that
I know you intimidate her. You know she's getting intimidated quick. Go ahead, Rickford.
Well, it is not my understanding. I saw for myself, the young lady made a reference to the president. She said that Damlal instructed her to text the president, gave her the president's number, and instructed her to message the president to lie and say the matter has been resolved, which she did. And she confirmed that the message was read by somebody at the number, which is the president's number. And she also detailed aspects of the president's number. And my understanding is that, and she said that she still has that message in her phone. My understanding is that the DPP wanted that aspect of the statement to be taken out, which to me is also obstruction, because if that's the statement, that's the statement. You can't ask the young lady to revise her statement when she gave it. And my understanding is that when she sent back the file to the police, that's what they were requesting. At least that's what the police was requesting, and they sent it back to the child care agency, not the government's child care protection agency, but the agency that interviewed her, a private agency. And they said that they had exhausted all questions and she had answered all the questions they asked. Not satisfied with that, they then went shopping around for other child care, child protection companies, consultants, to do a second set of interviews. And the child objected. She said she has already answered those questions. And when she did that, I think it's Child Link, they ended and they issued a statement, so I could call their name. They ended right away the interview with her. And that's when the decision was made, whether she made it independently or not, that she would discontinue the criminal complaint because she was not going to change her statement. That's my understanding. And that comes from very credible sources.
The exhausted child.
Like I said, she gave 4 statements, and we have all 4 of them.
Yeah, the interrogating exhaust the hell out of this child. Exhaust the hell out of her.
And I could confirm that she says that one of the interviews took place at 4 a.m. in the morning. That's what she said. 4 a.m. in the morning. So, yeah, so they had her in prison-like conditions. They kidnapped her. She was abducted by the state. And they were holding her in captivity, basically, and interviewing her at all sorts of hours in the night. That's torture. That's torment. A 16-year-old girl. And like I said, Sherrod, adults cannot withstand this kind of pressure. And she was 16, and she stood up to them, and she made her complaint, and she stood by her story, and she said what she said. And the Child Care Protection Agency sent that report to the police, and it was on that basis Darmla should have been charged. But they continued to pressure her. And I think it's because of the pressure and that mental stress that they placed her under that she said, listen, I want to go home. I don't want to go through this process. But she has not.
Rickford, big people with a break. This girl is 16, 15, just turned 16. Big people with a break.
Sharon, she has not withdrawn her statement that she was raped. She's not withdrawn that. What she said is that she doesn't want to go forward with the police complaint.
And none of them, as I said, Blanham, Shibaran, Shalimar, none of them have contradicted her in any way. And they said her brother corroborated that he was there watching TV too.
But Sherrod, if you read her statement, she said that, one, Damlal apologized to her for the damage he caused. He apologized to her parents. He offered them money. He took them to the police station. Why is he doing all of this if he was not, if he was innocent? Why would he offer them $10 million? Why would he take them to the police? And there's serious misconduct by Police Superintendent Kemrat Shibaran, who is the commanding officer in Region 2. He should be removed from that command. He obstructed justice. He perverted the courts of justice. The first police contact, Sharon, that this child had was with a male superintendent of police who obviously intimidated her. In the presence of Darmla, she was coerced to write a statement denying the allegations that on Facebook, which were actually true. So why is Shivaran still on the job? He obstructed justice. He should be charged. And like I said, under the law, the Sexual Offences Act of 2010, it clearly states that anyone who obstructs a child from giving a statement and from testifying and from telling the truth should commit obstruction and should be charged. Why Darmlal hasn't been charged? Why Shibnaran hasn't been charged? And they don't need a complaint from the child. They have established that independently. His signature is on the document, and the document is false. Why? And so they prevented her from giving an accurate statement. So why hasn't he been charged?
You know, Rickford, I think this whole saga here is going to affect so many women and inflict untold damage, because so many women who are unlawfully and taken advantage of in this brutal way, like this lady, this young girl narrated, are going to be so afraid, to come forward, because where's the justice? What doing this for? And they can feel it's their fault.
And also, you're correct. And also, if you notice, Jagdeo came out praising Dharmlal. He said Dharmlal is a good minister. This guy has been accused on several occasions of allegedly raping children. And Jagdeo is praising him as a good minister. In addition to that, not one person from the government has condemned his behavior. Not one. No female minister, no member of parliament, not Ali, not Jagdeo, not the prime minister, has condemned his behavior of grooming and soliciting and trafficking these little girls and sexually exploiting them. Nobody in the PP has condemned it. Rather, they circled the wagons around Dharmlal, and Jagdeo came out and said, he is a good minister.
They're hypocrites. They are hypocrites, Rickford. All of them. The first lady is a hypocrite. Arya Ali, she's husband, is two hypocrites. You got Vindhya, she's a religious hypocrite. You got the lion one, Unij Waldron, she is a mother hypocrite. You got Sonia Parag. You got the other one, Sonia Parag, the one who needs to get catch with cocaine by the airport. Susan Richard, well, she's busy wedding planning. She's not a hypocrite. There's a whole pack of them.
And then Pauline Sakai, who's the Minister of Marine Affairs. Quiet.
Oh my God. Well, she's an indigenous hypocrite. She is one of the worst kind. Hypocrite. This is why you have that ministry to safeguard the indigenous people, because we care about them so much. She's too busy in the casinos, too busy, distracted. What kind of government is
the government has obligations under international treaties to protect the rights of children and to ensure that they're not trafficked.
What kind of government is them? Right? What kind of... Rickford, finally, Guyanese watching us. We got 5,000 plus people watching us this evening. What do you tell them about where we go next in this country, if you want to call it a country in a failed state?
We're heading towards a failed statehood. I mean, we have lots of money, but the money is being used by the PPP and their cabal and for their family and friends. And so Guyana, I predict Guyana is going to end up like Venezuela, where you have a set of oligarchs controlling the state oil sector and using the money for themselves. And Guyanese need to stand up and fight for their rights. All Guyanese should benefit from the oil resources of the country. And Sharad, I noticed all of these people like Patricia, the former mayor.
She's green.
Patricia
She's in the green now.
And all these people proudly associating themselves with the PPP. And I want to ask them, what happened when the PPP was murdering children, black young men? What happened to all of the fights they had, policy and moral and everything else with the PPP? What happened?
They had no time.
Now, those people like Pat and Malcolm and all these people telling people now, you must support the PPP. We have never had any closure. Those guys murdered black people, murdered them. Formed death squads. By Jagdev's government, formed death squads, formed an alliance with Roger Khan, a drug lord, and murdered black people. Over 1,400. And nothing has ever happened.
Hypocrites.
And now you have some of these same people who probably because of inducement have formed an alliance with the PPP. And the PPP is parading them to camouflage their racism, parading them before the international community just to say, hey, we have black people supporting us too. What happened? Don't you think that the people who were killed by Jagdev's government and Roger Khan deserve justice anymore? You don't believe so? Then tell us why. Tell us why you're now supporting a regime that murdered black people's children. And now you're asking people to support these same people. It's unfathomable. And I think that if we don't solve our problems in Guyana, we end up in Sudan, where the country is falling apart. That's what's happening in Sudan. And it's because of the marginalization and ethnic strife, like the PPP is doing in Guyana. That's what happened in Sudan. That's why Sudan has fallen apart and it's become a failed state, divided state.
God forbid. God forbid. God forbid. Rickford, I want to thank you for spending this time with us on such very, very short notice. And thank you for your guidance on these many, many issues. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me. Have a good night. Have a good weekend, everybody.
Excellent. Folks, that's going to do it for us. The one and only Mr. Rickford Burke, good folks. Mr. Rickford Burke. That being said, good folks, that being said, share the live, smash that emoji button for us, good folks, and come let me go down the road. We got to go down the road. Y'all think these people easy, folks? Partner with us as well. We don't run out of water. Please and thank you. Partner with us as well, good folks. Partner with us as well. Yep. Good to see each and every one of you, wherever you're joining us from this evening, folks. Pace and power, good folks. Pace and power. Yeah. Y'all remember that? It's Bear story. Bear story, folks. Bear story. We got a far ways to go, and we're happy that you guys are here with us. Wherever you're joining us from this evening. We are very, very happy. We're thrilled. Share the live. Smash that emoji button, folks. And we're going to allow you guys to have a great weekend. But partner with we. And this is how you can help us, folks. This is how you can help us.
In the ring 592, Zelle and PayPal in the ring 592 at gmail.com, or WhatsApp us on 627-6963 for how to contribute via MoneyGram and Western Union and for MMG payments. Want to keep getting the best in the ring?
Let's play.
Yes, you can help us to keep going by partnering with us through your contributions. And it's easy. Send us a daily, weekly, or monthly donation, whichever is most convenient to you. Cash App at $ in the ring 592, Zelle and PayPal in the ring 592 at gmail.com, or WhatsApp us on 627-6963 for how to contribute via MoneyGram and Western Union and for MMG payments. Want to keep getting the best?
That being said, good folks, that being said, that's our time and that's our program. I really want to thank you folks for joining us this evening and for staying with us a little bit into the overtime, for staying with us. Pace and power, good folks. Have a fantastic weekend. Delight one, Linda, good to have you. Candy, Maureen, Joylyn, Candy, Lillian, and Legit, Auntie Sandra, good to see you as well. Vanessa, Joylyn, Dollet, Neon, and Vanessa, I call Vanessa already. Pretty Melissa, good to have you. Latoya Spencer, good to see you, Latoya. Michaela is here too. Judy Paul is here too as well, folks. Have a fantastic weekend. Wherever you're joining us from, share the live before you go. Smash that emoji button before you go, folks. Partner with us as well, wherever you're joining us from. And folks, we want you all to know, and we'll be sharing this more with you of this important conferences coming up. We're going to post this back on our pages over the weekend. Folks, this is a very important conference, the Ghana Small and Medium-Sized Enterprise Investment Conference. July 14th to 16th is coming up, folks. And open tomorrow as well for business is the Alistair Collins Forum. They're good if you need a justice of the peace. You need a good commissioner votes to affidavit himself and team at the Callion Mall down there on Lamaha Street between Camp and Waterloo Streets. 649-6410. They're open on Saturdays as well. That's why I like them. These are hard working people. That being said, folks, we're done. We're done. That's the last bell, folks. That's the last bell. Stay safe. Stay safe and have a fantastic weekend. We're going to see you guys back right here on Monday.